have less than 40 days until 2026. And if you don't make these 9 money moves before the 31st of December, you're going to start the new year in the exact same financial position you're in right now. Maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you have zero savings. Maybe you're drowning in debt, or maybe you're just feeling financially stuck. But here's the thing, 2026 doesn't magically fix your finances. The new year does not automatically fix your finances. You do. And you have less than 40 days to set up yourself properly for success in the new year. So without further hesitation, let's get into the 9 money moves you need to make before 2026. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Chidera. I talk about finances and getting your money right. So please hit the subscribe button and like this video so you can reach more people. So before we jump into the 9 money moves, I want to talk about something that I'm doing in the new year. I'm launching a coaching program called the Money Method. It's a coaching program that is going to help you tackle saving, investing, budgeting, and growing your money. So what makes this different is I'm not just going to be telling you what to do. We're going to be doing it together. I'm going to hold your hands, okay? You're going to open an investing account. You're going to invest. We're going to do it step by step. You're going to share screenshots of what you've done. I'm going to show you the best accounts to use, how to set up your savings to earn money for you no matter your income level, how to budget effectively and not feel restricted. Basically, real actions and real results. This program is going to start sometime in January, and you can join the waitlist right now on the link in the description box below. Link in the description box below to join the waitlist. Those on the waitlist will get an exclusive discount, and they'll be the first to know once the program is live. All right, let's get into these 9 money moves. Now, the first thing you need to do is a financial audit, because you cannot fix what you don't even know about. So you need to sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself regarding your money. Now, what do I mean? A financial audit is like you taking stock of your financial life, where you are right now, where you want to be, and what you need to do to get to the point where you want to be. So what you need to look at is, 1, your income. How much are you actually earning at the moment? Okay, how much are you bringing in after tax? If you have side hustles, if you have, freelance gigs, salary, anything you're doing, how much is your income currently? The second thing you want to look at is your expenses, okay? Where has your money been going this year? What have you spent more of? Have you spent a lot of money taking those £3 coffees on the way to work? Like, you need to look at your expenses, do an audit of that, and see what are things that you think have cost you the most in this year, and just make note of that. The next thing you need to look at is your debt. If you have any debt, you have to list every single one of them. Take an assessment of where you are at in clearing those debts. Which one still has a high interest rate? Which one is the highest debt that you have? You need to itemize everything and make it very clear. The next thing you need to look at is your savings. How much have you saved this year? How much of your income have you actually kept? Because here's the thing, a lot of people think that wealth is about earning more. There's some truth in that. However, the foundation in building wealth is in what percentage of your income you are actually able to keep. And by keep, I mean saving and investing, not money you're spending. So how much have you actually saved? What percentage of your salary have you saved this year? So for example, if your annual salary is £100,000, that means 10% savings will mean that you have at least £10,000 saved up or invested. So that means your savings rate is 10% for this year. So you need to check what percentage of your income have you actually kept in this year. And lastly, you need to look at your investments. Do you have a pension? If you do, have you ever logged into it to see what's there? If you've not, this is your cue to make sure you log into your pensions account before the year ends. If you have a stocks and shares ISA, look into that. How much do you think you've contributed the whole year, and what returns have you gotten so far? So why does this matter? It matters because you can't make a plan if you don't even know where you're starting from. So we need to look at your whole financial picture and know, okay, what's the next step? What's the next level going to look like for you with your finances? Because ignorance is not bliss when it comes to money. Ignorance is actually expensive. So if you need help with this, I have an income and expenses tracker sheet, which is linked in the description box below. You can check it out. The second money move is to set up what I call a baby emergency fund. Emergency fund is your when life happens fund. It's your when things don't go as planned money. You need to have a buffer where you can pull out money from, because life will happen, but you just don't know when. Having an emergency fund helps you stay prepared. What I mean by a baby emergency fund is not like a 6 months of your living expenses. It's not even a 3 months of your living expenses. It's having at least £500 or £1,000 at the barest saved saved up for emergencies. Why this amount? Is because that amount can cover most emergencies, okay? It can cover your boiler breaking down, your car needing repairs, your laptop dies, or maybe you need to pull out a tooth. £1,000 could cover all of this. Because the truth is, without having this fund, then you'll be forced to go into debt or to rely heavily on a credit card, which is you actually spending money that you're going to have to pay eventually. And another thing to state here is that once you have this money, do not keep it in the same account as all your other money. Have a separate account and target emergency fund when life happens, whatever you want to call it. But point is, ensure you separate this money from your regular money, and don't think of that money as part of the money you have to spend. That money is there for emergencies and emergencies only. The next money move is to cancel subscriptions you don't use. This one is simple yet so powerful. I want you to go through every single subscription that you currently have set up on your account. Check all your direct debits. Have a subscription audit. Which ones have you not used in the past month? If there's any subscription you've not used in the past 1 month, that subscription needs to go. You've got to cancel it and save that money. Common subscriptions that people use and you might want to look at to see if you want to cancel some is, I already mentioned, there's Disney Plus, there's Netflix, there's Spotify, there's gym membership, there's all these meal boxes, HelloFresh, Gusto, all of them. There's app subscriptions like meditation apps, feminine apps like the Flow app, stuff like that. There's also like magazine or newspaper subscription. There's also like cloud storage subscription. Basically, do a subscription audit to see the ones you need to cancel. That's the thing, a lot of us sign up for all of this subscription because I'm going to go to the gym one day, or I'm going to listen to music sometime. So now let's make it practical. Let's say you have Netflix and you're paying £10.99. You have a gym subscription, you're paying £25, okay? And then you have Spotify, you're paying £11. And then one app that you signed up for their free trial and forgot about, you're paying £8. This total comes up to about £54.97 a month, and this works up to about £600 a year on subscriptions you're probably not using. So you see, those little amounts, they actually add up eventually. So make sure you do a subscription audit and cancel the ones that don't need to stay. So now your next money move is to automate one habit. Note here, I said one habit. A lot of times we tend to get in over our head because you're like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. No, I want you to take it one step at a time. Your goal right now is to automate one savings habit, because here's what happens. A lot of times people are like, oh, I'm gonna save at the end of the month, or I'm gonna save, let me just pay, I'm gonna save. And what happens is you end up not saving. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna reverse engineer that. We're gonna automate just one savings habit where once you get paid, you save that money before you even start spending from it. So it's essentially called the pay yourself principle. Is where you prioritize paying yourself. For me, I treat it like a bill. It is non-negotiable. You know how you pay your water bill, you pay your rent, you don't think about it, you can't even negotiate it, right? In most cases, that's how I want you to think about paying yourself. It should be non-negotiable. You're working really hard for this money. Then what's the point when you don't have anything to show for it, where there's no money that is going towards your own future self? Here's how to automate it. Pick one savings goal. Is it your emergency fund savings? Is it a house deposit? Is it travel next year? Is it for a course? Whatever it is, pick one savings goal, okay? Next step is to open a separate savings account or a savings spot in an app. For example, the Monzo app, they have like savings spots, and you name that savings spot for what it is, or you use a different account and know that that account is for this purpose. Next thing is set up a standing order, a direct debit, so that you get money removed from your account once you get paid. Typically how I do it is, if I get paid today, by tomorrow all my savings and investments has gone out of my account. Even before I open my app to look at my salary, all this money has already gone out. So how much should you save? You can even start saving, okay, maybe £10 a week, £20 every 2 weeks, whatever it is. Start small. The most important thing is to stay consistent and build a habit out of this. Now your next money move is to tackle one debt aggressively. We have just a few days to go to the end of 2025. It doesn't mean you can't make changes to your financial situation. If you've got debts right now, you need to pick one that you're going to tackle head on. It means you're going to throw in every £1, every £2, every spare change. You're going to put it aggressively towards that debt. You can choose to do this in two ways. One, you can choose to clear out the debt with the highest interest rate, or to attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, or you choose to attack the smallest debt first. So the reason why either of this approach works is, if you approach the one that is the smallest debt, you are likely going to clear it it out faster, and that will give you momentum to keep going. Some people prefer that approach. Or if you prefer to attack the one with the highest interest rate first, because that one, the longer it stays, the more the interest is accumulating. So you might want to attack the one with the highest interest rate first. Point is, whatever approach you take, just try to put a bit more money towards your debt. Try to be a bit more aggressive about it and reduce the debt that you're taking into the new year. Your next money move is to top up or open an ISA. If you don't have an ISA at this point, we need to talk, okay? Because I've been thinking about this and I'm not going to stop talking about it. An ISA is an individual savings account. These are tax efficient accounts for you to save or invest. Basically for you to save and grow your money. There are different types. Lifetime ISA is for buying a house. Cash ISA is for savings, and you should get one that has a high interest rate. The one that I use is currently linked in the description box below. You can check it out. And then there's the stocks and shares ISA, which is for investing. And then there's also junior ISA, which is like for saving for your kids. Point is, at this point you should have at least one ISA account. Okay, if you want to be serious about keeping more of your money, you should have at least one ISA account. So if you don't have an ISA account, this is your sign to open one before the end of the year. Figure out the one that aligns best with the goals that you have at the moment and open one. If you want to see a video on lifetime ISA, how it works, it's linked up here. Make sure to check out that video. And if you want to figure out how to start investing with the stocks and shares ISA, it's also going to be linked up here. Point is, you need to have one ISA account, and if you already have one, okay, that's good. Now we need to think about topping it up some more. Remember, the tax year in the UK runs from April to April. So by April next year, your ISA allowance is going to reset. So if you have any spare change or any money, you can, just end this year on a high note. Your next money move is to review your pension contributions. I mean, I already touched on this a bit earlier. However, what I mean here is to actually check that your pension contributions for this year were all paid into your account. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that due diligence is on you. Your employer can say yes, they are making that payment, but if you don't check it, no one is going to check it for you. HMRC is not going to call you and be like, hello, your pensions has not been paid in for the last, I don't know, 5 months or whatever. It's up to you to check. So I want you to log into your pensions account. Check from January up to today, has every single payment from your employer come into your account for your pension. And also, if you don't have a pension account, why? I've seen some people opt out from the workplace pension, and one thing I think people don't realize is you're losing out on free money when you do that, because for every amount that you put, your employer legally has to contribute at least 3% of your salary into your pension. So when you don't contribute to your pension, you're losing out on that money. And not just that one, you also get tax relief from the government. That means they'll reimburse you some tax money too in that account. So by not opening or having a pensions account, you're losing out on free money from your employer and free money from the government. So here's what you need to check when you look at your pensions account. Number one, are you contributing to a workplace pension? Most employers in the UK will auto enroll you. Just ensure that you have a workplace pension, you know the login details, and you can access it. The second thing you want to check is what is the contribution rate from your salary. Statutory by default is going to be 5% contribution from your salary. That is from you, and then 3% from your employer. So you want to check the contributions you're seeing. Is it 5% from you actually, and is it actually 3% from your employer? Another thing to check is, does your employer match your pension contributions? A lot of people don't know that this exists. So what it is some employers, instead of paying that 3% to your pensions, they can match whatever you put. So what that means is, if I decide, oh, I'm going to put 8% towards my pension, my employer too put 8%. So that is free money, okay? Some people, if you say you put 5%, your employer will put 5% too. So whatever amount you're putting, they try to match that amount, which means more money for you in retirement. So make sure to ask your HR department, what's the current setup? Does your employer match pensions? Next thing to check, which is something a lot of people don't do, is where is that money invested, okay? Where is your pension money invested? Most workplace pensions are like invested in a default fund. It's up to you to now log into your pensions app and be like, okay, I want to invest in something slightly different. For example, there's something called target date funds. Those funds work with your age. So if you're, let's say if you're 20, then that fund probably have like 60% or 70% of your money in stocks and then 30% of it in funds. Because you're younger, you can take on more risk. But if you're closer to retirement, then it can be more in funds and less in stocks. That's the kind of fund it to be invested in. So if at the barest minimum you don't know what to do, you don't want to overthink it, just check if your pensions provider has like a target date fund, so you can opt for your money to be invested that way, so that as your age is changing, the fund is also changing to reduce your risk as you near retirement. I hope I'm making sense. And then the the last thing you want to check is, do you have pensions from previous jobs? If you've changed jobs, then your pensions are probably in different providers. It's up to you to consolidate your pensions and bring it under one umbrella. There's a platform that really does this well. It's called Pension B. You can check them out. So now your next money move is to check your credit score and your credit report. You know, credit score is one of those things that a lot of people ignore until they actually need it. People tend to forget about it until maybe they want to take out a mortgage or they want to buy a car on finance or something. Is when they actually need it. You're like, oh, let me check my credit score. You don't want to be that person. You want to start building your credit score from now, not when you need it for something, because at that point it will be too late for you to even make the adjustments that you need. A higher score would mean better interest rates when you take out loans. It could even give you more access to credit facilities, and it also means you'll be more likely to be approved for credit. So it's in your best interest to have like a healthy credit score before you actually need it. So how can you check your credit score? So there are 3 credit reference agencies: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You can log into their websites and check. However, one that I like to use is called Check My File, because it pulls out your credit reports from these 3 agencies and you can see how you're doing. I think you pay for it, but the last time I checked, they had like a free trial for 30 days. So you can at least use the free trial and just log in and see what credit information do these lenders have about you. What should you check when you are trying to improve your credit score? The first thing you should check is errors. Okay, sometimes there can be errors on your credit report. Like, I've also seen someone that there was a report that they have a credit card on their file, but they don't have that credit card. They only tried to apply for it, but they didn't get it. But the thing was on their file that they had a credit card. So you want to check for any errors and then fix it. The second thing you want to check for on your report is like missed or late payments. Are there any missed or late payments that probably affected your credit score that you didn't even know about? The next thing you want to check is your credit utilization. Okay, if you have a credit card, how much of your available credit are you using? Ideally, it should be less than 30%. You should utilize just 30% of the credit limit that is available to you. The next thing you want to check is the electoral roll. Are you registered to vote? As that's one of the ways to boost your credit score really quickly. If you want a further deep dive on how to build your credit score, I already have a video on how to do that, so make sure to check out the video. It's going to be linked up here. Alright, so now we're moving to the last money move you need to make before the end of 2026, and that is to set 3 money goals for 2026. Not 5, not 10, not 15, just 3 money goals that you're going to commit to for 2026. All the other moves that I've shared, all those ones are like tactics, but this one is actually strategy. This is the core strategy that is going to help you start 2026 on a strong note. And the reason why I said 3 is because if you set 10, you're likely not going to achieve all of that. If you set just 3 goals, it's very specific and is also streamlined, and it's going to help you stay focused on achieving them. So what makes a good financial goal? Basically, it needs to be a SMART goal. Okay, it needs to be specific. So no more I want to save more money next year. No, how much, my dear, do you want to save next year? 2, it needs to be measurable. How much do you need to save every month or every day or every week in order to hit that goal? Achievable, it needs to be achievable. For the acronym SMART, achievable and realistic kind of go hand in hand. It needs to be achievable and it needs to be realistic for your financial level. And then time bound. You can't just set a goal with no end date. It needs to have an end date. When are you trying to achieve this goal by? Now, that being said, I have another workshop that I'm hosting. This one is on money mapping, where I'm going to share with you the exact framework that I have used to save over £22,000 in 1 year, invest consistently, double my content creation earning in the first quarter of the year. Basically, my tested and proven framework for setting financial goal that you actually achieve. Link in the description box below to sign up. Okay, the class is going to hold on the 10th of January. There's currently an early bird discount which is going to go off, I think, 48 hours after this video is posted. So make sure to sign up right now, and I'm going to see you in class for that workshop. Another thing I like to do is like put your goals in places where you can see. Maybe use sticky notes on your mirror so you're seeing it every day. The more you see, the more your mind is working in the background trying to achieve those goals. Set up phone reminders on your phone to remind you of the goals of the things you're trying to achieve, and then track your progress consistently. If you do these 9 things, you're not just starting 2026 with hope. You're actually starting with a plan, and that is everything. So 2026 is going to be your year, but only if you decide right now to make it your year. So let me know in the comments, which of these 9 money moves would you be committing to right now? Leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear back from you. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like. It helps more people see my video, and also subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.